It's now time to bring a feature on the show today as we focus on the digital currency space. Now, in a recent press statement, the Central Bank of Nigeria stated its plans to launch its central bank digital currency, that is the CBDC pilot scheme called the eNaira, on the 1st of next month, with Bitt Inc, a financial technology company that utilizes blockchain and distributed ledger technology to facilitate secure peer-to-peer transactions as technical partner. Now, the eNaira is an electronic record or digital token of the naira issued and regulated by the Central Bank of Nigeria. It is also expected to be a legal tender for the country and have a non-interest-bearing status, as well as transaction limit for customers. Now, globally, there's been interest surrounding CBDCs among central banks, governments, and also private sector. The CBN has been researching so far CBDCs since 2017. Now, the concept primarily originated on the back of the popularity of cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin, Ethereum, amongst others. Joining me now to discuss this and much more virtually, I have the Chief Executive Officer of eNaira, Chris Cleverly. Good to have you on the Breakfast Show this morning.
Very good to see you as well. And how are you?
Very fine, thank you. Now, let's start off with some notion, according to analysts, the introduction of the Central Bank of Nigeria's digital currency, that's the eNaira, has already effectively redirected attention to Nigeria, given the initial strict stand of the Apex Bank on cryptocurrency. With this pilot scheme kicking off in just a few days away by the 1st of next month, what do you foresee as the biggest prospects and also challenges we will likely encounter ahead of the pilot scheme?
Well, I think, the biggest one is always going to be education and just people being aware of the fact that it's actually happening. So that takes you're going to need a big sensitization campaign around that, getting all the banks ready for it and making sure that everyone understands exactly what's going on. That's going to be quite a big challenge indeed. But the important thing is that Nigeria is making the leap. And even though publicly there's clearly been a slightly negative stance or a very negative stance in regard to Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies, there's clearly an acceptance here that largely Nigeria's economy is being powered by mobile banking, smartphones, and inclusion being that way rather than in the traditional banking sense.
Exactly. So now, still talking about the cryptocurrency space now, given the significant explosion in the use of digital payment and also the rise in digital economy, the CBN's decision follows the unmistakable global trend, which we've already seen. Well, over 85% of central banks are now considering adopting digital currencies in their countries. But do you see us getting to the peak that we've seen like El Salvador, where cryptocurrencies like Bitcoin have become a full legal tender for transactions? Hello, Chris.
Hello?
Can you? Yes.
I think we had a bit of a problem with our connection.
Exactly.
There.
So now my next question is asking if you think Nigeria can get to the peak that we've seen El Salvador reach in just a few days ago, making Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency, now a full legal tender. Do you see Nigeria reaching the point after the pilot scheme?
Yeah, I think, look, the eNaira is obviously it's attached to the naira. It's going to have the same issues that having a naira does have, which is that you can have issues with exchange controls. You're going to have issues with its fungibility in terms of moving the currency in and out of the country, and you're going to also have the issues of being affected by the dollar and inflation on the dollar. And inflation on the dollar obviously is going to be a big issue for Africa going forward. You do want to have ultimately a decentralized currency, because that will give everyone control over their interest rates and actually do a peer-to-peer system there. But yeah, look, it's a huge step forward. One of the big step forwards was when Kenya embraced M-Pesa, and suddenly mobile banking came across Africa well before everyone else. And our continent has really boomed as a result of that. And I think the eNaira is a great step as well. It's a good step in the right direction. There'll be challenges, though, obviously.
Most definitely. Now, what sort of interface do you also think will play out, as it's predicted that the eNaira would also facilitate cross-border remittances as well as improve efficiency in the payment system, especially within the lines of regional and continental trading? Take, for example, transactions we expect under the African Continental Free Trade Area Agreement, the AfCFTA.
Yeah, look, it's as I've said. If it's still in the naira, then it'll have the same issues that the naira has had, but it'll be faster and it'll be cheaper, and it'll allow people to do transactions at a different cost price, and it'll be a lot quicker as a result of that. But ultimately, you're still going to have the same sort of border issues. So, the fact that you've got an eNaira doesn't mean that it won't have problems with an eRand, for example, or an eQuacha, or any of those things. So we shouldn't overestimate what difference it will make, but also we shouldn't underestimate the importance of moving into a digital system that this currency will do. And hopefully it allows people to become much more relaxed about seeing how decentralized currencies are going to be of a benefit as well. Once people get used to using the eNaira, I think that they're gonna want to get to things like Bitcoin. They're going to want to use Ether. They're going to use Cardano and ADA, and they're going to see the advantages of using these really truly proper cryptocurrencies.
And then now let's wrap up our conversation with the future of blockchain solutions as well. And then looking at the fact that we saw the Bitcoin also drop in value after El Salvador made that move, stating that it's now a full legal tender. To what extent do you see a new twists and turns playing out between Bitcoin, Ethereum and other cryptocurrencies?
Yeah, I think El Salvador made a very bold move, and it was excellent to see. And not surprisingly, there was a flash crash just before, and that was probably people taking profits based on the basis that obviously they believe that El Salvador was going to force the prices up by announcing that it was going on to Bitcoin. It's now settling out again, and you'll probably see that Bitcoin and everything will move forward. But there are some amazing new changes. You're seeing Solana and you're seeing Cardano now coming to the fore. And these are the new types of cryptocurrencies that are going to be that much more scalable, that much more transactions per second, that much more secure, and more flexible. This cryptocurrency acceptance is becoming more and more general, and Nigeria is leading the world. And I think that the more that Nigeria can accept that they're leading the world and embrace that, is going to be incredible. If Nigeria realized how far ahead it was in terms of trading Bitcoin and being involved in cryptocurrencies that it is, I think they'd realize they've got a chance to be a world leader, and that the leadership should embrace that.
And then what other updates do you have from Cameroon as well, based on our last discussion?
Well, yes, we're moving forward swiftly with our program in Zimbabwe. I'm also now working with Tingo Mobile as well, in the capacity of president. So that's a big agricultural platform in Nigeria with 9 million customers. And Tingo Mobile we're bringing on to the major exchanges now in America as well. So super excited about taking that forward as well as campaign.
Thank you very much for your time on the Breakfast Show this morning. It's been a pleasure speaking with you, Chris Cleverly.
All the best. Speak soon.